Welcome back to Falling Down Garage. A lazy Saturday today. Just don't really have usually I'm Mr. Hustle. Today I just don't have it in me. So I went on Marketplace and I got some 16-inch Ford rims to use as rollers. I have some already on my Grumman. And those actually have brand new tires. They have 0 miles on them. I intended to get them get this thing roadworthy, and still the basic plan that I'll transfer them over here. These have 17.5s on them, which are very limiting in terms of tire options. You have to buy reproduction, some Coker tire, and you know, they're expensive because they're the only game in town, and you know, a lot of they're, you know, small batch tires, so I don't have a problem with their pricing. It's just they do cost money. So that's what I'll eventually put on both of these. They're 17.5-inch rims, but I had to refurbish them in the meantime. And I was gonna film my ride, which I went through some very pretty parts of Pennsylvania, but I had a work call come in, something really important and really complicated, and I forgot to bring the camera. It was ugly until I got to special places, but I was too busy driving. But anyways, I'm gonna get these out of the vehicle, and probably not today, but sometime this week I'll swap out the 17.5s and put these on. So I'm excited about that. And then the other thing is I'm considering working on the Jeep. I have some fuel line issues to deal with, so might get to that too. Kind of, you know, when you're not a professional YouTuber, it's a lot of little things. It's not really, it's more like how Matt's Off-Road Recover films. They just film what they're doing, and ideally that would be how you would film, but that doesn't get views. People like to see projects, and I understand that. So all right, we'll be back. Today I'm going to attempt to replace these two hoses that are causing me to have a lot of difficulty when I get gas with this. You can see, for you younger viewers, you don't do this anymore. It's always from the left or right. And what happens is when I'm getting gas, it drips, and it's really aggravating because that's a big no-no. And there's another, I'll put his channel up. A guy has Jeep in his YouTube name. He shows that you take these two things off, and then you take this gasket off. He recommends jacking up the vehicle and taking off the tire. There's a shield underneath here that has to come off, and essentially you take off the two things that connect up at the top and where they meet in with the fuel filler, or with the fuel tank, excuse me. So I'm going to get started on this. I'm going to try to skip some of those steps if I can get away with it. To be determined. Sorry for the shaking. All right, so I've got 6 on the inside there with this heat shield. They look like 8 millimeters if I'm guessing, plus the star bolts. This will be a little bit of a pill. All right. Okay, this is me about the Jeep from 2 days later. Consider it to be post-production. When you're doing this, the things you want to look out for, pay attention if you're, you know, gonna change the fuel filler lines. This is not a straight hexagonal pattern. The top is not at 12 o'clock. It's offset to the left a little bit. That's to prevent you from putting it on the wrong way. But knowing that when you go to put it back on will avoid a lot of confusion. You're going to need T20 bits to take off those screws. In some versions, these screws here are T20s. In mine, they're 8 millimeters. So you're going to want to have an 8 millimeter. You might want to have a 7 if you buy replacement parts from the same vendor, because the hose clamps had 7 millimeter nuts on them instead of 8s. You're going to want to have a utility knife. The reason for that is to cut the old one off. If you have a YJ, the hoses are 30 years old. They're not flexible anymore. So don't waste the time that I wasted when I was doing it. So have that available. A large flat screwdriver for plucking off the shield here, and extra credit for you if you have some body fasteners. I have some in a pack. It's still cold out, relatively speaking. It's warmer out today. Let me deal with this Corvair for a second. You'll see that on my channel in the future. But anyways, you want to, those are the tools you're gonna need. Oh, and also 1/4-inch socket with extensions. So anyways, I'm gonna jump off, get back to the footage from Sunday. It's Tuesday today, and then I have to lock this thing down. So I appreciate you watching. We'll be right back. YJs don't get a lot of love from a lot of people. They don't like the headlights. They're actually pretty terrific little vehicles. I've been very pleasantly surprised by this. It lacks that romantic look of the CJs, but as a daily, you can daily drive it. You can't daily drive it like a normal daily driver, though. You have to pretend that you're older than you are and just drive slower. On the Facebook groups, everybody always says, how can I do this? And the answer is always, I really don't want the Jeep I just bought. And that's a shame. All right, so this thing's locked up, so I've got to get these bad boys off. Are they 1/4-inch? Highly doubt it. No, there's something metric. All right. I'm starting this project way too late in the day. My Jeep's low on gas, so I want to take advantage of it and get this done before I fill it back up. My kid wanted to learn how to drive a stick along with their boyfriend, so I took them out the other day. They used half a tank of gas. We only went about 70 miles. We weren't driving efficiently, to put it politely. Alright. Ooh, that thing's crudted up beyond belief. Okay. Let's see what we're dealing with here. It looks like 1, 2... his, like, that other guy, his thing displaced. What the heck is this? Is this a wire? Oh my gosh. Alright, we're gonna try to get this thing out of the way. Is this fasteners or? Yeah, I think it is. Oh shoot. I'm gonna regret this. Alright, I have a body fastener kit somewhere for like newer vehicles. Yeah, that's what this is. Shoot. Okay, so I understand why YouTubers don't like to show everything they do, because some people just want entertainment, but me, when I'm trying to learn, I do appreciate seeing how the sausage was made. So I put my gloves on and I kind of just force this thing open. They look like screws, but they're really just push-in fasteners from consistent with modern automobiles. So I got enough of them off to move this thing up and out of the way. Apparently it's a place where dust, like, you know, dirt likes to collect. So these two hoses are what has to go. And yikes, yikes, yikes. I don't want to mess these things up. I probably should wrap these sometime soon. Everything works on it, but by the grace of God. All right, so I need a 1/4-inch socket. I need to loosen these from the bottom. And that YouTuber, I will give him credit. He does say that you might want to cut these things off. This is a really stupid day for me to be working on these because it's, you know, it's just barely above freezing today. But this is time that I have to work on this. So the idea is you pull them off from the bottom and you pull the whole thing out in one monolithic piece. All right, so off camera, I was able to confirm with a box end that it's an 8mm. My clamps on the new parts are of differing sizes, which is completely ridiculous. I'm getting like 1/10 of a turn. I'm gonna try to switch to a 1/4 inch ratchet, socket, whatever. I think this is the right one. Let's see if we can make a go of this. Sorry for the bad camera work. This isn't fun. Huh. One of those long extensions that's flexible would be the trick for this other one. I don't think I own any of those. It's all grabbing. I was hoping it was something interesting. It's just an F-250. Not that I don't like F-250s, I own one. There we go. Let's do it by hand. Alright. I want to get this thing off, but I don't want to break anything in the process. In camera fashion. He was smart enough not to film it. I sometimes am guilty of saying you get the idea. Well, yeah, do I? Do you have the idea? Do I have the idea? Come on, baby. Oh, come on. Oh, hey. All right, did you see that? So, don't pry against the hose, pry against the clamp. There is absolutely a barb at the end of it. Not a Barbara, but a barb. All right, that was pretty cool. Now, I can get this one out of the way and get a little friskier with the twisting. Theoretically. Yeah, that's not helping. That clamps all. Let me. Hi, Vicky. The vulture. I'm gonna re-edit my original video sometime for how I got the falling down garage. Its name. Black vultures. They're pretty darn cool. I raised 2 inside my garage. My girlfriend and I, we always say, hey, vulture, vulture, when they fly by. Because that's how we used to call the 2 that we raised for, to give them their canned dog food. It's pretty gratifying to know one of them's up there because we decided to save it instead of do what we were told and do nothing. I liked myself a little bit better after that. All right, I gotta get a utility knife. Most of the way home. I'm sorry for the horrible lighting. There we go. that little nub on the left. The one on the right is the gas tank. So I've got to get that thing off. Even though the clamp is loose, I dare say the clamp's actually causing it to stay on. Wonder if the vultures are looking for nesting spots again. They keep flying by. I'm gonna do what that other guy did and just cut it lengthwise, and hopefully it'll just split off. Got the second clamp off. It's letting me twist it. Barb is fighting me something terrible though. Not anymore. Victory. All right, so the problem with this thing is it's so discombobulated as to the way it was before. I had to figure out which way is up. All right, presumably the flap, you know. All right, so this is the filler, this is the breather. Yeah, because it's got to go down, I think. Darn it. You know? All right, so if you do this, mark where the top is. Yeah. Okay, even though I made a mistake and didn't mark it beforehand, the engineers at either Jeep, Renault, or AMC, Chrysler, whatever, they made an offset if you look at the top hole. So it's a hexagonal pattern at the bottom, and then it's an offset on the top three, so it can't be put in the wrong way. And thank you to whoever did that for saving me 40 years ago when this thing was being designed. If you ever want to read some fun stories, read about AMC and how they did a lot with a little, and some of their partnerships with Renault, believe it or not, actually gave us the XJ, the Cherokee that's beloved by one, and also these YJs. They saved the Wrangler and they gave us the Cherokee, so XJ, so pretty cool. Wasn't all bad. So I put the piece back in and it tilts downward when put in this pattern, so the offset at the top shows that. So I know that okay, so it goes in like this, which steers the liquid going in. So this one's the vent, and then this one right here is the filler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace them on here, mimicking the pattern now, and then I'll attempt to put it back on, and pray for my soul. All right, so I'm loosening the clamp on this upper vent tube, but you got to walk back in the opposite way you walked out. So I am going to put them on at the bottom and then connect them at the top and then fish it through, I think. Famous last words. All right, so the left one is the filler, which has a wider diameter. The right one is the vent. Flare side is the low side on the pipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on, then fish the clamp over and wiggle it down. And then I'll get it into the right direction. Okay, so far so good. And I can't believe it, but I actually think I might have got this right. Somewhat. It's gonna be a little wonky, but I'm a little wonky. Repair manual I have doesn't really address this at all. I guess they live in a whimsical world where these things never need to be done. All right, so I'm gonna get these clamps off so there's nothing hindering my ability to slip it over or anything. One potato. I think I'm looking at Jupiter right now up in the sky. Yeah, okay, so here's the flare side. So this goes on the tank. It'd be really cool if I could go get gas with this later. Just to say I did it. Oh, and then have it not leak. If I was smart, I'd probably use up my old gas first and not embarrass myself at the local convenience store. Commanders are playing the Eagles right now. I live in the Philadelphia market, so I don't, I'm bad luck for teams I root for, so I'm not watching the game. Gotta play that clamp out more. Yep. Does it have, yeah, that's plenty of slack. Beg your pardon, I confirmed that they are all indeed 7s. So I'm gonna pay these out, slip them around the base, and then clamp them down. That's as loose as it's gonna get. It's confirmed to be all the way down at the base. All right. Not in love with this. Actually, I just got a peekaboo idea, as my little girl would say when she was little. Let me see if I can slide it through here and hit it. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can get these extensions to all play nicely together. All right, I'm gonna try to use these skinny extensions on these 1/4-inch drives to slide up between the tank and the frame to be able to get it on that clamp and get it to tighten. In theory, it makes sense. We'll see if we can get practice.
It looks like you haven't set up any smart home accessories. You can connect accessories like lights, locks, and thermostats in the Home app.
No one was asked. I hate iPhones. Just hate them. I have one, obviously. If I can hold this in place and find my 1/4-inch ratchet and get it on there without dropping. Ah! Now I'm going to slip a clamp over the next one. Make sure it's a 7mm before I get too far ahead of myself. Make sure I have it dialed out quite a bit. I made the mistake of taking a break. It's always a momentum killer. I think I'll have it in opposition so that it's close to the other one. Frame on this little thing is pretty decent still. It's grabbed. It's a little past 12 o'clock where I wanted it, but it's grabbing, so it's fairly tight. It's gonna hold it over the barb. Good enough. Good enough. Now I've got to get the other 2 clamps on and then get them right. Oh, something pretty cool. That tube that I was worried about right here. This is, I believe, what I'm touching right here. I think that is the vent tube for the differential. I'm not 100% positive, but I can't think of what else it would be. It barely fits. Yikes. Is there a barb on this? Yes, there is, of course. So I'm going to force this onto here like so. And it's going to be aimed a little cattywampus from what I would want. This is vertical, because see how this thing's like between, it's kind of at 11, not between where 11 and 12 o'clock would be. Kia Rimini. It doesn't want to go on. I might want to cheat and use one of the other clamps. I don't know. I gotta pay this thing out some more. Shoot, that barb is just fighting me. Wait, actually, the one that matters is going. Yeah. All right. All right, I got that one on. I feel like I just did something wrong. No, I got it in the right order. I was afraid that the thing was supposed to be on the other side. It's not. That would have been pretty demoralizing. All right, let me crank this thing down. I'm gonna loosen it, slide the thing down, and then just clamp the crap out of it. Crying out loud. Yeah, it's a 6. I have enough trouble in life. I don't need them giving me 3 7s and a 6, really. So that whole thing was doing nothing the whole time. So I was misdiagnosing every problem the whole time. All right, so the clamp is aimed at me. The hose is over the barb, and now I can access it with my extension. If I can reach it, I can. All right, now I have 3 more T20s to put on for the gasket, and then 2 for the license plate. Well, I wasn't super disciplined about one thing, and that was the Torx bits. That might be on the hood of my vehicle. Hot damn. All right, and we have so put the gas cap in. So my girlfriend's pulling into the driveway. I'm gonna say hi to her. I'm gonna run and get gas, and if I have no puddle, that'll mean I've successfully fixed this beast. I lied, I forgot to tuck. I have to tuck the that cover back up in the fender. Let me do that real quick. This flap right here. There we go. If I can push that through, I'll be golden. I'll do this in the daylight. It's good enough for what I'm doing. All right, off to get gas. We'll see if this repair works. Okay, so the verdict, I didn't want to film while getting gas. No drips, so that was successful. How does it deal with the evaporative emissions controls on modern fuel pumps? You still can't even get it up to the first click on the automatic thing. You have to do it by hand. But I was able to get 16 gallons in here. It's probably the lowest I've ever ran the tank. It is a 20-gallon tank. They all do. Some of them have a thing where you can only get 15 in. Has to do with the hose. It's on the internet. I don't, frankly, after today, understand it at all. I thought I did, but there's 2 lines sticking out of the tank, so I don't know about this hose in the tank thing. Maybe someone can enlighten me. But anyways, that was a success, and other than how annoying it is at the gas station, it's a complete victory. So if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe for more. I'll give credit to the inspiration in the comments with the other YouTuber, Jeep something. I can't remember it. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. All right, thanks.